Arne Slot slammed Hugo Ekitike after his needless red card against Southampton, calling his celebration stupid. The striker scored the winner, but will now miss Liverpool's clash with Crystal Palace, leaving Slot with a selection headache, as Alexander Isak is not yet fit for 90 minutes. Arne Slot was critical of Liverpool forward Hugo Ekitike after his late red card for removing his shirt against Southampton. French forward Ekitike had replaced Alexander Isak at half-time, and after tapping home the winner with 5 minutes remaining, he took off his shirt as he ran towards the corner flag. Referee Thomas Bramall immediately showed Ekitike his second yellow, and the forward will now miss Liverpool's Premier League trip to Crystal Palace on Saturday. It leaves Slot with a headache, after the Dutchman admitted Isak is not ready to play 90 minutes. Slot was far from impressed with his striker, branding his actions stupid. The first one, yellow card, was already needless and to a certain extent stupid because you have to control your emotions. And I know how hard it is if you play in the Premier League and you are a number 9, then the defender can almost do everything he wants, and when you push him a little bit, you get a free kick against you, the Liverpool boss said. But it is always the best to control your emotions, and if you can't, then do it in a way that doesn't lead to a yellow card. So I think I said when I got my red card against Everton, that's always stupid because you can show your emotions. But if it leads to a yellow or red, then it's, to a certain extent, stupid. Then I told him that if you score in a Champions League final in the 87th minute, after beating 3 players and hitting it in the top corner, I can maybe understand you say, it's all about me, but I'm old-fashioned, I'm 47, I'm old, and I haven't played at this level, but I did score a few goals, and if I scored a goal like this, I would have turned around and walked up to Federico Chiesa and say, this goal's all about you. This is not about me. So yeah, needless, not smart. You call it stupid, and I call it stupid. It was an opinion mirrored by Ekitike's teammate Andy Robertson. The Scots skippered the Reds in Virgil van Dijk's absence and took a dim view of the Frenchman's exploits. I think scoring a goal's always emotional, and you always get that emotion, he said, but he's obviously just forgotten he's been booked. His first one is stupidity, kicking the ball away. We know the rules around that. 2 silly bookings to pick up, and now we miss him for Saturday. It's silly from his part, but he's only young, and he will learn from it. Happy that he scored, but the last 10 minutes were made a bit more difficult being down to 10 men. He will learn from it, and I'm sure he won't do it again. Ekitike took to Instagram after the game to apologise for his red card. He posted, I was so excited tonight to help the team achieve another victory here in our home for my first Carabao Cup match. The emotion got the better of me tonight. My apologies to all the Red family, thanks to the fans who always support us, and to my teammates for secured this victory. Arne Slot's Reds are unbeaten in all competitions so far this season and have won 5 in a row in England's top flight. As a result, they are top of the division, but face the only other remaining unbeaten side in the division, Crystal Palace. Their last game was a 2-1 win over Southampton in the Carabao Cup, in which Hugo Ekitike scored the winner and was subsequently sent off for taking off his shirt. The Reds have made a habit of scoring late winners this season, with Ekitike their top scorer in all competitions so far. Sunsport can reveal whether or not Hugo Ekitike will feature for Liverpool against Crystal Palace this weekend. Yes, Hugo Ekitike will be suspended for Liverpool's trip to Crystal Palace. He got a second yellow card for taking his shirt off in a 2-1 win over Southampton in the Carabao Cup. As a result, his red card suspension will carry over into the Premier League. This in large part indicates that Arne Slot will use his British record signing Alexander Isak from the off for the first time in the Premier League on Saturday. Alan Shearer has made his stance clear on Liverpool's striking dilemma. Hugo Ekitike's red-hot form means Arne Slot simply can't afford to drop him. Even with Alexander Isak pushing for more minutes, Alan Shearer reckons Arne Slot cannot afford to drop Hugo Ekitike right now. That is despite Liverpool boasting another world-class striker in Alexander Isak, who is still waiting for his maiden Premier League start. Both forwards joined the Reds for hefty fees during the summer transfer window, yet they haven't shared the pitch simultaneously. Isak was thrown straight into the 11 to face Atletico Madrid in midweek before Ekitike returned to the starting lineup and scored for the 2-1 win over Everton on Saturday. Questions remain over Slot's tactical blueprint and how frequently the pair will feature together, but Shearer insists Ekitike has earned his place in the starting 11. "It's not a bad option, is it?" Shearer said on NBC Sports. Having said that, at the minute, there's no way if I was Ekitike, there's no way I'd be thinking I deserve to be left out this side with the form that I'm in, the goals that I'm scoring. He can't leave him out. He has to play him. So Isak will have to be patient. He's not 100% fit yet, which he'll be working on. But they've got so many options, not only with those two, but in wide positions as well. If things are working, fine. If it's not, then at least he's got the players to chuck on and try and change it. Good problems to have if you call them problems. Federico Chiesa failed to secure a spot on the substitutes bench as Liverpool went up against Everton at the weekend. Promising youngster Rio Ngumoha was given the nod ahead of the Italian, although he remained an unused substitute. Ekitike delivered another commanding display and finished clinically after being set up brilliantly by Ryan Gravenberch's pinpoint pass. Shearer, however, was less impressed with Liverpool's left-back Milos Kerkez. Despite a solid performance against Everton, the Newcastle legend remained unimpressed. "At the minute, we're not seeing the same player in Kerkez as we saw with Bournemouth," he said. "He was free-flowing. He had the license to go and roam and get forward. Here, to me, it seems as if he's caught in two minds, whether he's going to go, whether he's going to stay, and help protect that with Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate." Liverpool are set to face Southampton in the League Cup next, with Slot expected to make significant changes to his starting 11. Isak could see more game time as he continues to regain his match fitness. After a summer-long saga, Alexander Isak is finally at Liverpool, but will he hit the ground running? Or is this transfer drama just getting started? Alexis McAllister admits he and his Liverpool colleagues were fed up with the Alexander Isak transfer saga before his high-profile move. The Swedish striker was caught in a summer-long tug-of-war with Newcastle United, having expressed his wish to join the Premier League champions. However, he had to wait until deadline day to put pen to paper after the Reds and their top-tier competitors finally agreed on a British record £125 million deal. Isak was made to train separately from the Magpies' first team during their preparations for the Premier League season, and as a result, arrived at Anfield lacking match fitness. He only made his debut during Wednesday's 3-2 victory over Atletico Madrid. The 25-year-old lasted just under an hour during the thrilling Champions League win over the Spanish club, leaving the pitch with the Reds leading 2-1 before they required a last-minute winner from skipper Virgil van Dijk to wrestle back the points in a 3-2 win. Arne Slot's squad have been the talk of the town after relying on a series of late goals to secure 3 points during the early stages of their title defence. Isak's signing was part of a spending spree on Merseyside, which was balanced out by a number of exits, including Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Harvey Elliott, Ben Gannon-Doak, Tyler Morton, Jarell Quansah, and Koeman Kelleher. Despite the chatter about the financial investment at Anfield, McAllister has expressed his delight at having Isak on board and believes he will be a hit for the Reds. At the beginning it was a big thing, and after a while we got a bit tired because it was too long, McAllister shared with TNT Sports via the Liverpool Echo, taking a dig at the lengthy transfer process. But we all know the player he is. He is going to be really, really important, and we are happy to have him here. McAllister acknowledged how Newcastle wouldn't have liked how things played out, adding, "Maybe the other club are not happy, but that's the way football works. They paid quite a lot of money. So I think it's good for both clubs. It's good for him because it's what he wanted. We are so happy to have him because we know the player that he is, and we suffered against him a couple of times as well." Liverpool take on Everton in the Merseyside derby on Saturday, 12:30 p.m, as they look to extend their lead at the summit in their Premier League title defence. The Toffees will be wanting to damage the Reds' title charge after a perfect start to the season, winning each of their opening 4 matches. However, it remains to be seen whether Isak will make his Premier League debut for Slot's side after having a broken pre-season.